What's up guys, Ghost here, back with some more Overwatch tips and tricks. So I've been seeing plenty of guides around aimed at new players, explaining the ins and outs of each game mode as well as some other basic stuff to get you off the ground and really point out what separates Overwatch from other games, things like hero switching for example. So in this new series that I'm calling Overwatch Knowhow, I'm going to give you guys around 10 quick little tips on things that aren't strikingly obvious. The game doesn't tell you about them, and you're usually left to figure them out for yourself. So let's get started. First off, did you know that automatic weapons such as Soldier's Pulse Rifle and Bastion in Recon mode fire more accurately in bursts? After 3 shots you'll notice the reticle expanding outward to signify that the spread is increasing, so make sure you burst fire to keep things nice and tight at those longer ranges. Of course this isn't always necessary with larger targets, but if you're trying to hit a skinny little thing like D.Va or Theresa, it can help. Just make sure you're using the default reticle, otherwise you won't see the spread pattern. Did you know you can bring up a communication window in game to relay important information to your teammates? One of which is letting them know the status of your ultimate. Absolutely invaluable when trying to combo 2 ults together, like Zarya's Graviton Surge and Hanzo's Dragon Strike. Additionally, you can of course use it to mess around with emotes and voice lines unlocked via the loot boxes. On PC, these commands can also be bound to whichever keys you wish for ease of access. Oh yeah, and press T to use your spray. Next, some important movement abilities. Did you know that D.Va's boosters can boost you in any direction and not just on a linear plane? Simply look towards the sky and you'll travel in that direction. This is invaluable when flanking your enemies, especially those pesky snipers sitting on a perch up high. Theresa too has some pretty swift movement abilities, although unlike D.Va, she can only blink on a linear plane. But did you know that you can blink left, right and even backwards? You can definitely use backwards blink to get away from a sticky situation, and blinking left or right is great for strafing around your enemies. Genji too is a pretty mobile hero. Simply hold jump next to a wall to scramble up to the top and pull yourself onto the ledge. Although do bear in mind that not all walls are scalable. Hanzo also has this wall climbing ability, but where Genji differs from his brother is that he can also double jump. Link these 2 moves together with your Swift Strike ability and Genji can certainly get around. Speaking of Swift Strike, whenever you kill an enemy with this ability, you reset its cooldown, so try to use it as a finisher rather than an opener. Headshots in Overwatch make a different impact sound than regular hits, and once you've played the game for a while, you'll probably start to differentiate between them in games. Your hit indicator will also be red and slightly larger than normal whenever you score a headshot. This can be valuable information, especially at long ranges where you can't see the enemy hero too well. Next up, Mercy. Her Guardian Angel ability is great for zooming across the map to heal an ally, or even getting out of harm's way. But you don't actually need to look at your target if you're already healing or damage boosting them to do this. As long as your beam is connected to an ally, you will automatically Guardian Angel directly to them regardless of where you are looking. Pretty handy. Another sneaky movement trick for those Farah players out there, her Concussive Blast ability is great for knocking around the enemy, but it can also be used to propel you through the air, especially useful when you need to get all the way from spawn to rejoin the action. Now here's a sneaky little flanking maneuver you can make use of as Farah on King's Row. This is the last checkpoint on payload, very often a hotly contested one too. Simply hover under this section of the map and jump jet up the other side to surprise your enemies. Especially effective if you have a barrage waiting. Farah isn't the only one capable of performing this feat though. Widowmaker too can make the jump with a well-timed grapple, although this may not be the best position for Widowmaker to be in. And speaking of Widowmaker's grapple, if you hook onto a high platform or object and hit jump just before you reach the top, you'll be flung into the air and have just enough time to line up a fully charged headshot on an unsuspecting enemy. Pretty hard to pull this off, but you'll definitely wet some pants if you get play of the game. This next one isn't particularly useful, but it is pretty funny. On the Hanamura map, there is a Murloc on the side of the ramen noodle restaurant. Shoot it with any weapon to make some iconic World of Warcraft gurgling sounds. And finally, Have you ever found D.Va's ultimate a pain in the ass to dodge and find yourself running for the hills whenever she slides her mech at you? Well, it's probably because you're running too far. The easiest way to dodge it is to simply block line of sight of the explosion. And that's it guys, that's episode 1. Many of you will know a lot of these, especially those of you who have played the closed beta, but since the game is new and there are plenty of noobs out there, I decided to keep this one nice and simple. So leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and let me know if you would like to see more of this series. Don't forget to subscribe for more Overwatch tips and tricks, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.